Hey everybody, this is Sean David, and this is a brief video that I'm really putting out there, hoping that first of all, it's going to help students with understanding rhythm on a very basic, fundamental level. But while this is basic and fundamental, I can also tell you this is probably the single most important thing that any musician can learn to be able to play music well in time and rhythmically, which is probably one of the most important aspects and most challenging aspects of music. But also, it's the single most important thing you can learn if you want to be able to read music well, specifically interpreting rhythms, which is again one of the most challenging aspects of music for a lot of students. This video is also intended for moms and dads and parents and grandparents and anybody who is helping, encouraging, overseeing your students practicing their music. And I would encourage you with this thought. You do not have to know how to read music. You do not have to know how to play an instrument to learn what I'm going to teach you right now. This is what I like to call musical math. If you can count to 4, you can do this. Okay, now what you have in front of me are 4 numbers, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those 4 numbers are representing beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, you can't see it, but you can probably hear that's my foot tapping. And I tap my foot when I play music all the time. And I encourage students to do it because it helps you to establish rhythm, helps you establish a beat. We'll also talk about later some tricks for making sure we know what beat we're on, whether we're on the downbeat or the upbeat with my foot. But I'm going to tap my foot, and what I'm going to do is I want you to just watch the very top line, the 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to count together. Here we go. I want you to count out loud with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty easy, wasn't it? We're going to do that again. Watch. Every time you count a new beat, I want you to watch the number at the top of the screen and visually see yourself moving from 1 to 2 and 3 to 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty easy, isn't it? Honestly, that is 90% of what you need to know to be able to play music and read rhythms well. Now, underneath numbers 1, 2, and 3, and 4, you will see 4 quarter notes. A quarter note is a simple note. It's just a dot, right, or a circle with what we call a stem, either underneath it to the left or on top of it and to the right. Right, these ones before you, the stems are on the bottom. It doesn't make any difference what direction they go in terms of the fact that they are quarter notes. Quarter notes all get 1 beat. That is why they are under each number. Let's count it together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tap 4 beats on my foot first, then we'll count it together. This time, instead of watching the numbers, I want you to watch the quarter notes. Now watch these quarter notes go by. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we're going to do this again. Hopefully this works with my camera. I'm going to actually point to each quarter note as it goes by. Here's my 4 taps. Now watch with me and count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Guys, if you can do that, you can read rhythms, you can count rhythms, you can interpret them. You never have to be the student or the parent or the grandparent that says, I'm not sure how this rhythm goes. Trust me. I will teach you. You will understand it, okay? And this, by the way, for students that struggle with rhythm, and we have a handful that do, or more than a handful, because a lot of students do, this is just a challenging thing. You could practice with this video a couple of times a week, and you'll get so much better at it. So now we're going to clap and count each one of those quarter notes. This is something all of our teachers at the Academy have our students do for good reason. I'm going to snap, because I'm going to point with my finger as well. So I'm going to snap with my right hand and point with my left. Here's my 4 beat count off. 1, 2, get ready to clap and count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do that again. This is really important. You're clapping and counting. So what you're going to do is sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it together. I'm going to point and snap. You're going to clap and count. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's that simple, guys. Now, look at those half notes. As you'll see, the half notes on the 3rd line down are hollow in the middle and they have a stem, which means those half notes get 2 beats per measure. or 2 beats per note, right? So a half note is half of a measure. It's 2 beats long. So we're only gonna clap what we call the attack of the note, right? If we were playing it on an instrument, it would sound like this. Da, da. But we're gonna go 1, 2, and what comes after 2? 3, 4. So I'm gonna demonstrate, I'm gonna count and snap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now just the attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what you're gonna do is clap that with me, okay? It's gonna sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So count and clap with me. I'm gonna snap, and I'm gonna snap the attacks. 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that easy? It's so important that it's not 1, 2, 1, 2. A lot of students will do that. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, because as you see at the top, beats 3 and 4 follow 1 and 2, right? Now we're going to look at the whole note, which, as it implies, is an entire measure of music. It gets 4 beats. So again, if I were to play it on an instrument, it would sound like this. Da, but we're only going to clap the attack. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to count 4 beats in prep, and you're going to clap and count out loud while I snap. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Now, if you do this a couple of times a week and do it with your students, I'm telling you, you're going to be a rock star at reading rhythms. Now, this is just quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes. In my next video, I'll talk about eighth notes. But what I want to do real quick now, as this is getting up closer to 10 minutes, but you can spend 10 minutes a couple times a week devoted to rhythm, and it will be so worth it, I can tell you. What we're going to do now is we're going to do all 3. We're going to do quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes, and make sure that we got them. We're going to stay on our toes. I'm going to give 4 beats introduction with my foot, and then I'm going to snap and count out loud. You're going to clap and count out loud, okay? And it's not, we're just going to go right down the order first, and then I might get a little random, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Clap and count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Now just half notes. 1, 2, 3. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it again. 1, 2, 3. Now whole notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it, guys. Super simple stuff. But if you do that, I am telling you, you will begin to understand how to read rhythms, how to interpret rhythms, how to count and clap rhythms so much better. Parents, grandparents, guardians, if you've got kids at home that are studying music, please, especially if they struggle with rhythms, and your teachers will tell you, and even if they don't, this is still good for them, but especially if they struggle, sit down and do this. It's 9 minutes, a couple of times a week, until they just become rock stars at it. Have a good one. We'll see you in the classroom.